What's going on, guys? JPB2 here. Hope you guys are enjoying your Wednesday. And for today's matchup, we have an Adventure Springs versus a branded Despia, with my opponent playing branded Despia going first. Now, before we go into the actual gameplay, I would like to address an issue that I've been seeing in ranked matches as of lately, is where people are playing tier 1 decklets that are extremely simple to play linear combos and climbing into a rank they absolutely have no business climbing up to. And what this does is that those inflated ranked players, they just get demolished in actual matches where skills are required. And they just ruin the gameplay completely because at a diamond level play, this is a diamond 3 gameplay by the way, and it was pretty early in the season as well. At this level, you expect people to know what they are doing, what they're using, how to utilize their decks. They should be skillful enough, but that's not happening. I'm not seeing that anymore because they're just using brain dead decklets like Flu, like the branded Despia, like Eldritch, and just climbing to ranks like these. And I don't know, I just find it distasteful. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below if you guys had the same opinion as me, and let's get on with today's gameplay. So the opponent starts with a normal summon of the Aluber. I do not imperm. Now when I was playing the gameplay, I did not toggle my toggle off. I did not want to hide that I had a hand trap in my hand. So the opponent knew I had a hand trap in my hand. So far he's making a good play. He hard started, excuse me, with a copy of Branded Fusion in his hand. So with the Aluber, he searched for a Branded Lost, which he is playing. That means this imperm in my hand basically becomes a dead card. Now against a branded Despia player, you wanna imperm their Lubellion summoning on the field. So once they activate Lubellion, you wanna imperm that. But branded loss makes it so that you cannot even interact with the whole chain anyway. So you guys will see what I mean. I'll explain it to you guys real quick. What branded loss does, if you guys don't know, is that you cannot negate the fusion summon of a monster coming on the field. You cannot interact with that chain. Now, there is a reason why you can still Ash Blossom the branded fusion even though branded lost is on the field, because Ash Blossom does not negate the activation. No sir, no. Ash Blossom negates the effect of the card. So branded lost does not prevent you from Ash Blossoming the branded fusion. So you can Ash Blossom that branded fusion. However, you cannot use your Omni Negate to negate the activation of this card itself. So let's say if I went first, I had Griffin on the field, I could not use the Griffin to negate this card because Branded Lost protects this card's activation. So again, I had no Ash Blossom, so this goes through. Lubellion comes in the field, and it's going to start a whole new chain. The chain starts with the chain starts with the Branded Lost. Now again, this guy should have not chain link one Branded Lost, but again, brain dead player still wins because still goes to diamond 3 because deck is busted. He chain links to the Lubellion, but we cannot interact with this chain anyways. Again, this card protects this card because it is fusion summoning a card on the field, so we cannot interact with this card in any way whatsoever. You cannot Baylor it, you cannot imperm it. So this whole chain is protected. So he chain blocks again with the Despian Tragedy from the graveyard. It resolves. Despian Tragedy will be searching him for an ad libitum. Pretty standard play for Despia players. Lubellion goes off into the Mirror Jade. And there's the Mirror Jade. Face up defense. Okay. And the Branded Lost adds him a kit. The kit is going to come on the field because there's a fusion monster on the field as well. And that's going to search him for Branded in red. So this guy literally hard search for Branded in red. Sets down Branded in red, passes his turn. We know for a fact that card is branded in red. Now, let's see what we draw into. I draw into a cross-out designator. Now, in my opinion, I don't know about you guys, this hand is pretty cracked right now. I have a combo starter card. I have DD Crow to fizzle out the branded in red. We have Imperm to negate out the Mirror Jade from banishing our normal summon on the field. Extremely good hand. We even have Call by the Grave plus Crossout in case he throws Maxi or Ash Blossom our way as well. So let's see how the combo goes. First of all, we imperm out the Mirror Jade. Do not want him banishing out our normal summon. Once I normal summon a card, he tries to activate Branded in red to go into Chimera. Instantly we do DD Crow. We target the card he targeted using the Branded in red, banish it, So Branded in red fizzles out, no Chimera for the opponent. Tragedy, however, does activate, gets him search for the Aluber. Now you guys might be wondering, Jay, why not use the Call by the Grave so the Tragedy does not even search him for the Aluber? Well, that's because I want to save my Call by the Grave in case the opponent had Ash Blossom and Maxi in his hand. So you need to think your plays ahead before you make them. So I go into my Meow move, we activate our first graveyard activation, and this was pretty open, right? Now, this was an open graveyard activation, meaning I had nothing to chain block with, so he could have Ash Blossom this card right here, but he apparently, even though he has it, he chose not to. So we chain block our fancies with our Doodle-Doo, and right here is when he wants to Ash Blossom me. I don't know what's going on with this guy's head or what he's thinking. Against Prank Kids, you want to Ash Blossom the first naked graveyard activation, but instead he opts out to negate out my Doodle-Doo search. I mean, I could have allowed that to go through, but why allow it when I have both Call By plus a Cross Out in my hand? And this card being set on the field after I end my turn basically means I win the game afterwards. So we Call By the Grave the Ash Blossom. This way, even if I draw an Ash Blossom with the Prank Kids Pranks Recycle at the end of my turn, if I do go into that, I will not be able to Ash Blossom my opponent's cards. But that's okay with me. So Doodle-Doo gets us our search for pranks, and Fancies will pitch our copy of Pandemonium in the graveyard. Now over here, I will not go into my second copy of Doodle-Doo because every single card in my hand is extremely important card for me. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm just going to go through one Doodle-Doo and I'm second summon go into my Bow Wow Bark. This means that I will only have 5 Prank Kids cards in the graveyard, and I should not be recycling my Prank Kids cards with my Prank Kids pranks if I want to activate Bow Wow on my opponent's turn without recycling my Meow. So the Mirror Jade activates, even though it's negated, it does send the Albion to the graveyard as cost. So Albion can still be activated at the end of the turn to put down a copy of Branded in red or whatever card he wants to put on the field. And it's pretty annoying. Trust me, that is extremely annoying. The cost effect is extremely annoying. So over here, I was supposed to hit no on the Prank It's Pranks Recycle, but my muscle memory kicked in and I accidentally hit yes on the Prank It's Pranks Recycle. So I was forced to recycle my Meow at this point. But you know what I thought? I thought, okay, that's okay as well, because Butler's first pop will be enough to pop his whole field because he has no Branded opening in his graveyard, so he has no protection, and that means his whole field goes away anyways and we could make plays afterwards. So Meow being in our extra deck means I can search for a combo starter card, Thunder Dragon Fusion. I will be throwing in my no, we don't have that in the graveyard, my bad. So with the Albion, he sets down the Theater on the field. Opponent's draw phase, we activate Bow Wow, we tribute itself, we target 2 for the named Butler added to our hand. This prompts my opponent to activate Mirror Jade. Now Mirror Jade's activation restriction is on the fact that the whole activation banish goes through. Meaning if they activate Mirror Jade when it is negated and they pay the cost of pitching Albion to the graveyard, it is technically not fully activated. The restriction is on the banishment part. So since he did not banish a card from the field, that means Mirror Jade can still be activated. To which I chainlink our Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. That means Mirror Jade is again negated, does not go through, does not banish out my Fancies. Our Bow Wow goes through, we add the 2 cards we require for the Butler combo into our hand. Standby phase, main phase 1, he activates the Theater, and he normals out the Aluber even though all dark monsters are negated. Doesn't go through, he activates the Theater, goes off into Coritis. Now with this Coritis coming up on the field, I was thinking maybe this guy might go into the Proskenian, but he does not go into Proskenian. He is going to do the Branded Lost Search for an Ecclesia. Now he tries to go into Battle Phase, to which I have to pop my Pandemonium because if he goes into Battle Phase, he kills our Fancies, we cannot go into our Butler. So we're kind of forced to use our Pandemonium, go into our Butler at this point. So Pandemonium resolves, go into our Butler, we get all our graveyard activations as well. Now right here is when I greed, okay? I greed super hard. Now, when I say greed, I mean I do not activate my Butler because I only have 1 Butler pop. This guy already committed his normal summon, but he did have Ecclesia in his hand. Ecclesia on the field, I mean, he could tribute the Ecclesia to go into the Fallen of Albaz, but Fallen of Albaz is negated anyways, but I did not want that happening. So I greeted, did not activate my Butler. But I did, however, make a good play, is because I knew this guy had Ecclesia in his hand. He searched for the Ecclesia with the branded loss. So what I ended up doing was, I did not activate Drop Seas, however I activated Lamb Seas and my Fanzy's effect of specialing monsters on the field because I wanted to get 2 copies of Drop Seas on the field. That way, he cannot special out Ecclesia on the field. We have equal number of monsters. Ecclesia states if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, then special itself. But I was trying to play around that, and sadly, he drew the most busted card ever, which is the Super Poly. Super Poly cannot be reacted to, so he takes away my Butler by pitching out Ad Libitum from his hand, and the Alubra on the field goes into Draco's Despia. He goes into battle phase, kills off my cards. Now, I don't know why he did not go into Proskenion. He did have a way to go into Proskenion, I believe. Proskenion could have killed off my Dropsies, targeted my Butler, stolen my Butler, could have done so much more. He could have even gone into Tax Dragon over Quaritus. Like, if you put Quaritus, like, you know, this play means that you want to go into your Proskenion. So why go? I mean, it just does not make any sense to me. You guys get what I mean? He had so many better plays, but he chose to make the worst play ever. So we're okay with that. Albion gets negated, turn change. Now, I am so glad I accidentally ended up recycling my Meowmoo, because now we could activate Prank's Place, search for a card, and go into our combo. I searched for Roxy's. Nib against a Despia player is pretty useless, so we can banish it. And if we draw into a Nemesis Corridor or any Nemesis card, that means we have a guaranteed Colossus on the field. So we banish out the Nib. We draw into a Thunder Dragon Fusion. Now this is an insane draw, okay? This draw means I basically win the game at this point. So we go into our Doodle-Doo, get Fancies, we activate Doodle-Doo, we tribute itself, target Butler plus Pandemonium, add Panda to our hand, and Butler gets recycled. Thunder Dragon Fusion into our Butler by using the materials in the graveyard, not the one on the field. We want to keep the card on the field. Then we set down Pandemonium, Place boosts our Butler, and at this point, this guy just starts activating every single card that he can out of frustration. This is a dark card, this is a dark card, this card's effect of making a fusion level 8 or lower monster attack 0 does not matter. Butler is a fusion level 10. He's just pressing yellow buttons in the hope that he could out my Butler. So you guys understand what I mean? People are inflated to a rank they do not belong in. This guy definitely does not belong in Diamond 3. So Mirror Jade negated, the Dracosepelia negated, Quaritus activates. Like, it does nothing. I pop Quaritus with my Butler in battle phase. Alubra activates. Again, he tries to activate it. It's negated. It's not going to come on the field. Shadow Imprisoning Mirror kills you. Now, the reason why I set down the Pandemonium on the field is that at the end of our turn, we can activate our Prank's recycle. And if with the Prank's recycle, I draw into a named Prank's monster card, I will be able to use Pandemonium on my opponent's turn, go into my Weather Washer. That's the only reason why I added the Pandemonium to my hand with the recycle and stuff like that. So we activate Prank's recycle. I do recycle my Meowmoo. You guys see right here, Meowmoo is back in my extra deck. We only need one Butler pop, which is enough. He normals out the Ecclesia, puts the Fallen of Albaz, then activates the Theater, and goes off into Chimera. Now this dude, I don't know what he's thinking. He did have Light, Dark, and Fusion. He could have gone into Proskenion. Proskenion could have killed a card. He could have done stuff with my graveyard, but he chose to go into Chimera at this point. Chimera is a dark monster. It's still negated. He just wasted all his resources for a useless card. 3.3k attack, that's not getting over our Butler. 3.5. And once I use my Pandemonium, it goes up to 4k attack. So Branded Lost will search him for a card. Sure, we don't care about that. Chimera, however, is negated because of the Shadow Imprisoning Mirror on the field. Branded Lost gets him a Fallen of Albaz again. He already wishes his normal summon on the play. He tries to go into battle phase, to which I activate Pandemonium. I did hard draw into a named Prank's monster, so we go into Weather Washer. We activate our Graveyard Prank's activation, and then activate our place, and then activate our Weather Washer, tributing itself, targeting 2 cards in the graveyard, putting them on the field. Now keep in mind guys, the cards I'm putting on the field, I am marking them, okay? Weather Washer states that the card you put on the field through Weather Washer's effect are immune to destruction through battle that turn. I am marking these 2 cards with my Prank Its Place boost. So the opponent has to know these 2 cards specifically are immune to destruction through battle. So they get boosted up, they are marked. I get my copy of Dropsies, get my copy of Flamsies. Opponent goes into battle phase and targets the 2 cards that are immune to destruction through battle, which I have most obviously marked for him, and bumps into them. Like, how stupid can you get at this point is my question to this guy. Like, dude, come on, man, come on. So he ends his turn, Ecclesia activates, it gets added back to his hand, we don't care much about that. Our turn, obviously the first thing we do is go into our Totally Awesome. So I draw Maxi, okay, whatever, we activate Thunder Dragon Fusion, banish, we get our copy of the Nemesis Corridor. We have our banished monster, so we can go into our Colossus, and the Shadow Imprisoning Mirror does not affect Colossus because it only negates activated effects. With this, seeing my opponent just outright scoops, and that is it for this game. If you guys do like this kind of videos, please consider hitting the like button, subbing to my channel for more daily Prank It video uploads, and if you guys are interested in the live version of all of this, I do live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/jpbduel. Link along with my schedule and a link to my Discord will be in the video description itself for you guys to check out. This is JPBduel signing out for today. I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace!